art beaders. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend. I had a really wonderful Christmas. Spent it with my family and friends. So much good food and just a great time all around. So hopefully you had a wonderful holiday as well. And we are wrapping up December. I can't believe it. We're approaching 2024. It's crazy. I feel like 2023 just started, but I'm excited to go into 2024. I bought a planner. I'm going to be a planner girly for 2024. I always love the idea of planners, but I really just want to commit to like using my planner weekly. I found this really cute one that I'm going to use. So that's my goal for 2024 is to keep with my planner, and I have all kinds of fun stickers to put in it. I like using the stickers in there. So we're going to keep up with that. And of course, we're going to keep up with our beading. Hi, Julie. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And I really loved your live on Tuesday. So if you haven't watched Julie's live that she did on Tuesday, make sure to check that out. And Tammy did one on Wednesday. So go to artbeads.com/live and check out all of those videos. They are waiting for you there. Deb, hi, hello, good to see you. I hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. Yay, Beverly got a new planner for next year, and it has a daily mood tracker. Ooh, mine has like a 365 like check off thing that you can track whatever you want every day there. So maybe I'll do moods there. That's a good idea. I'm always happy when I'm beading. All right, so today I have got TOHO Demi round seed beads for you today, and we are going to use those to make a bracelet pattern from the Starman Trendsetters program. I've got this beautiful bracelet made with a couple different sizes of TOHO Demi round seed beads and some fire polished beads. So it's going to be a really beautiful project, and it's a great use of those TOHO Demi round seed beads, which I love. They're a little bit thinner than normal TOHO round seed beads, so you can work them in. They just add nice texture and dimension to your projects. Nicole, hello. Barb, hi. Thank you guys so much for saying hello. So a couple things before we jump in. You can see I'm responding to comments. If you're watching at artbeads.com/live, you can comment and I'll be able to see and chat with you there. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. But if you hit that link that we've provided, you can come over to artbeads.com/live and you can interact with me live there. And the best part of all, you can shop while you watch. Yes, on our website, we do have a shopping bag that you can click, see all the products that I'm working with today, and easily add them to your cart while you watch. The video will get smaller. I'll still be there, so you can follow along while you're shopping. And Nicole, pretty earrings. Thank you. I made these last week with my ancient Egyptian turquoise designer blend. I love, love, love these earrings, and I love that blend. There are still some of those left, so hurry and get that blend. Go watch that video. It was a really fun one, but we do have still some of these left, but they're going fast, so make sure to get your limited edition designer blends while you can. I picked up some. I bought I had this one already, so I could make this one for you guys. And I bought the Ancient Egyptian Cartouche blend. I bought the Fancy Frogs blend, and I got, which other one did I get? I got another one. I think I did the Victorian Romance blend because that one had some really pretty like moon and star beads in it. So all kinds of wonderful Art Beads designer blends. Hopefully that you can shop those and get your faves because they're going quick. They're so fun. I love them. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so pretty. I like how those turned out too. Yeah, so today we are going to be making a bracelet with TOHO Demi rounds and some fire polished beads. So I think we are ready to flip our camera around and get started with these fun beads that I have on my table. All right, I'm gonna flip you around and we will go. Hi, Karen, good to see you. All right, so let's get things situated. All right, more light. And then we can kind of move this out of the way. There we go. All right, so today we are going to be making this lovely bracelet. Now, this is a Starman Trendsetters pattern designed by the fabulous Melinda Barta for the Trendsetters program. So I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful design that she came up with today with TOHO Demi round seed beads and fire polished beads. I just love this look, and we do have a design studio tutorial for this bracelet on the website that you can download this wonderful PDF diagram, and you can see I used colors similar to the original project because I think those colors are so regal and fabulous. So we've got colors very similar to the original project, and what I love about these PDF instructions is they usually always include a diagram so you can see exactly what you're doing as you go. So that's really helpful for all of these Starman Trendsetter projects. And we have quite a few Starman Trendsetter designs on the artbeads.com website. So there's some really fun ones to choose from, and they're all just really unique and interesting and feature some fun Starman beads. So I can't wait to get started showing this one. All right, so what you're going to need for this project, you're going to need some Demi round seed beads in a few different colors and sizes. So we have got 11O or size 11 TOHO Demi rounds. I picked out this lovely kind of, it's like an oil slick or a chroma color. It's got that lovely blue, green, purple, iridescent look. So those are 11O TOHO Demi rounds. And then you'll need two different colors of the 8O or size 8 Demi rounds. So I've got this color that matches that first color really nicely, but a little more on the green side. And then because I loved how the gold looked in the original project, we've got that lovely gold color there. And remember, if you're watching at artbeads.com/live, you can shop all of the beads and products that I'm showing today. Just hit that shopping bag. You might see each product that I'm talking about highlighted on the screen as I'm talking about it. But if you hit that shopping bag, you'll be able to see all of them and add them to your cart as we go along. So in addition to the TOHO Demi round seed beads, you will also need some 3mm fire polish rounds. So for this bracelet, I used this lighter color, but the beauty of these projects is you can easily switch up the colors. I'm going to use this darker purple for my demo today. Other than those beads, you will need a beading needle, some fire line. I've already cut about a yard or 3 feet here, and I've got some cute little tulip scissors. Aren't those so nice? I love how cute and dainty those are, and they come with a little leather cover, so these are really wonderful. So for today's demo, I thought about creating step outs, like different steps of the project, but how this project is, I would have to create 3 or 4 of those. So that wasn't really feasible for my time. But the great thing about this project is it's a lot of repeating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shorter version. Maybe I can turn them into earrings later, but I'm just going to do about 4 or 5 rounds of this stitch and then add in the demi rounds. And that'll give you a good overview of the techniques used for this bracelet, because it's just a lot of repeating the same techniques for the length of the bracelet. So that's what we're going to do. How many tubes of beads for this project? How many strands of beads? Okay, that's a great question. This PDF diagram tells you exactly how many you need. So you're going to need 2 grams of the 11O demi rounds. That's 1 tube if you're buying at Art Beads. 1 gram of the TOHO 8-aught demi rounds in this color, and that's 1 tube. There's plenty in a tube for this project. And then 2 grams of this gold color here, and that is plenty in 1 tube for these as well. For the fire polished beads, you're going to need 88 fire polished rounds. Now, depending on the strand, these strands usually come in 50 or 100. You'll need 1 or 2 strands of the fire polished beads. Great question, Karen. Thank you so much. And I did want to mention too that you'll need the clasp of your choosing. The project features a 2-strand clasp. I just attached it with jump rings. I think you could do a double strand magnetic clasp or a toggle clasp there too, if that's your preference. hook clasp, lobster clasp, whatever you like. But the 2-strand little tube clasp works really nicely with the design there too. All right, let's jump in. So I need to add my fireline thread. That's what I'm working with here today, to my beading needle, and we can get started. The scissors remind me of my mother's never to be touched sewing scissors. I know some of the scissors you can find out there are just so pretty and fancy looking, but these ones you are absolutely allowed to touch and use. Tina, I give you permission. All right, threading a needle on camera is always tricky, so let's get it going there. I think I got it. No, I did not. Bear with me. This might be the longest part of the project. There we go. Got it on. I'm going to pull that through. There we go. All right, so the first step is we are going to add one of these fire polished beads, and I'm going to use that dark purple color to see how that changes the look. Can we order clasps on this page? Yes, we do sell the clasps at artbeads.com. I don't know if Eric's added them to the show, but we can always link you to them. All right, so we're going to add this fire polished bead, and then we're going to add an 11-0 Demi round seed bead in that fabulous color there. Oh, yay, I got cute scissors in my stocking. That's a great stocking stuffer. Some just nice little fancy scissors for all your projects. Love that idea. Okay, so we're going to repeat that 3 times. So we're going to add another fire polished bead to our needle and another TOHO Demi round in that size 11. So that's once. We got to repeat this 2 more times. So I'm going to add my fire polished bead, add my demi round. Oh, and I think Eric's working on adding the clasp. Thank you, Eric. And leftover demi rounds. If it takes 1 tube per color, then I can use a half-filled tube of leftover beads. You definitely can, because I believe our tubes are about 7 grams and you only need 1 to 2 grams of these demi rounds. So if you have a leftover tube, this is a great project for that. All right, I've added all the fire polished beads that I need there. We're gonna form a ring and tie a knot against the tail. And I'm gonna leave about a 6 to 8 inch tail, because you typically are gonna be weaving your thread, your tail thread, back into the project. So it's nice to have a long enough tail to easily weave back in. So we're gonna form a ring with those. And I need to push this down a little further. Should have done that before I made a ring here. Yeah, I'm used to working with 1G, which is a little more slidey than Fireline. So I'm actually going to push my beads down a little bit further on the thread before forming my ring. So that's important to note, because once that ring was in place, it was not moving, which is good. That can kind of hang people up sometimes. So having a thread that's not as slidey when you're making rings, that might be a better choice. All right, we've got their tail there. Now comes the fun part of adding our thread back to our needle. Thank you, Eric. Yes, thank you. See, I'm usually used to holding this as close to my eyeballs as possible, so doing it for a camera is a little harder, but we got it. Alrighty, and thank you for the hearts. I can see when you click that heart button, I see the little floating hearts of love come through, so thank you so much for that. All right, now we can form our ring because we're closer to our tail here. Make sure I got it all. I think I did. Yeah. Alrighty. And now we can form our ring here. and knot against the tail. So we've got that 6 to 8 inch tail. I'm going to knot it with the working thread, and that just kind of tightens up the ring that you're making. So just knot that. There we go. And then we're going to pass through the first 5 beads that we added here. So 1, 2, I've passed through the first fire polished and demi round. 3, 4 is the next fire polished and demi round, and then we're going to be coming out of a fire polished bead. There we go. So we're going to add another 11/0 round and another fire polished bead to our thread and repeat that twice. So I've picked up an 11/0 round. I've picked up a fire polished. I'm going to do that again. $11.00 round and a fire polished. All right, so from here what we're going to do is we're going to add one more 11, and then we're going to pass through the last fire polish exited on the previous little circle unit that we've made here. So we're passing through the other side of that fire polished bead we're coming out of and making another loop. So we're kind of like making the base loops of our bracelet. Then you're going to pass through those first 4 beads you added in this little loop. So the first 11 fire polished and 11 fire polished. And then you're in place to keep adding little loops of fire polished beads for the length of your bracelet. The instructions say to repeat 27 times for a bracelet that measures approximately 7¼ inches before the clasp. Now, my sample bracelet is smaller because I have a smaller wrist. So I just checked on my wrist as I went. So I have less loops. So it will depend for you how many times you repeat this step. For the sake of time, we are only going to repeat this step a few times here on camera. A lot of this project is just repeating the same steps multiple times. So you'll get a nice overview of how to do these techniques in a shorter amount of time if I just make a few of these. And I swear, picking up the 11/0s is probably the hardest part of the project. There we go. Pick up a fire polished. And then we need another 11/0. All right, so we want to do the same thing we just did. We're going to come through the other side of that fire polished bead we're exiting out of to form a loop. And then go through the first 4 beads we just added. All right, so now we're in place. I think I'm going to add just a couple more of these little seed bead or these fire polished loops, and then we'll be good to go to start the next step. And I'm really liking this dark purple color. It is really nice with these TOHO Demi round colors that I've chosen here. It's going to be fun to see how that all comes together. All right, one more fire polished, and then one more demi round. All right, so we're coming out of this side of the fire polished. We want to come through the other side with our needle to make that loop. There we go. And then I'm just going to do one more loop of these. So this is kind of like a modified right angle weave. So one more loop and then we will go on to the next step. So I think this shorter version I could definitely turn into earrings to match the bracelet that I've already made. That might be kind of fun. I might actually just dump these out. Sometimes it's easier to grab these beads straight off the bead mat. Especially when they're really small, like the 11-0s. Okay, one more fire polished, and then one more. We're coming out of this side of the fire polish, so we're gonna loop around from the other side. And that'll make our little ring. All right, so in practice, you will do this about 27 times, but today we're only doing it a few. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass through the next 11-aught bead. So when we finished that step, we're coming out of that fire polished bead. We're gonna pass through this next 11-aught bead here, that 11-0 demi round. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to add our first size 8-0 demi round in that greenish color. And we're gonna pass through this next fire polished bead. And this next demi round. Then you're gonna add another 8-aught seed bead. I'm gonna dump these out too. They just jump around more in those little trays. And then we're gonna do that again. We're gonna pass through the next set of demi round, fire polished demi round on this top edge of our next ring of fire polished beads. And you'll continue that all the way down the length of your bracelet. Yay, the clasp is now available to shop. So if you hit that shopping bag, you should see the clasp that we're working with today. Thank you, Eric. All right, so we're gonna do that again. I've added my size 8-0 demi round in that first color. I'm gonna go through the 11-0 demi round, fire polished, and 11-0 demi round on this top edge of this next ring of fire polished beads. There we go. And just keep doing that. And that kind of gives our rings a little bit more structure. And that 8-0 size fits so nicely at the top of this fire polished bead in the center and between those two 11-0 beads. So really just ingenious weaving going on here. Excellent design by Starman Trendsetter Melinda Barda. That's what we're making today, is a Starman Trendsetters pattern. So now we're at the end of this row. We're just gonna loop around and continue on the bottom edge here. So we're actually going to, actually, you know what? I went too far. You don't wanna go through that last 11 demi round. You want to stop at the last fire polished on this edge. I love her designs too, Tammy. They're so good. Add another 8-0 and go through these beads on this end. So you're going through that 11-0, fire polished 11-0 on this end. And then we're going to repeat. And you can flip your work over if you want to. So I'm coming out of that last 11-0 on this edge. I've added an 8-0. I'm going to go through that next fire polished and 11-0 and just repeat on this side. So I'm going to flip my work so you can see it. So I'm coming out of that 11-0. I've picked up an 8-0. I'm going to go through the next segment of 11-0, fire polished 11-0. These colors are really wonderful together. There we go. Picked up an 8-0, going through the next segment of beads, being careful not to go through too many. Picking up another 8-0. And on this last one, we don't want to go through the last demi round because we're going to add an 8-0 before that one. So we've just gone through the last fire polished bead. We're going to pick up our last demi round and go through there. And I'm going to exit out of the first 8-0 demi round added. So I've looped back around down through this first 8-0 demi round added. All right, now we're ready to start adding more demi rounds. Yay! So we're gonna start adding the second color of demi rounds. I'm gonna flip my work again. So we're working at the top as always. Now remember, if you're making a longer bracelet, you're going to be doing these same techniques that I'm showing you. You're just going to be doing them for more repeats. I'm just making a shorter segment of this lovely bracelet we have here, but the techniques are the same, just repeated for more times around these little fire polished loops. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 of this gold demi round color here, that size 8 gold demi round. So we're going to add 4. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dump these out so they're easier to grab. I've got 3 here. I've got 4 there. Oops, nope, one fell off. 4, always good to check. Oh, no, I have 5. See? Always check. Numbers can be hard sometimes, especially in the time, and then all of them fell off. Okay, cool. My hands, I put lotion on right before this, so my hands are like really slippery. So these beads are just going everywhere. Okay, so now we've got 4 for sure. So we've checked like 3 times. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go through, we're coming out of that first 8-0 TOHO demi round, and then we're going to pass through the next 8-aught demi round here. Yes, this time of year you definitely need the lotion. That is for sure, Tammy. Little dry. Okay, so we've added those 4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 of these 11-0 demi rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have got 5 on my needle there, and we're going to pass through the next 8-0 demi round in our little rings that we've made. And we're going to alternate between that pattern. I love how wonderfully these 11-0 demi rounds fit right over the top of that little segment. I think it's perfect. This is why I love the demi rounds. They just fit in all those little spaces. They're so wonderful. And we're actually going to come back in and add another gold demi round here at the top to make a point, and that's going to look amazing too. So stay tuned for that. So we're just going to repeat this segment down the length of our bracelet or earring. So I'm picking up 4 of those gold ones, going through that next 8-0 O demi round in our little rings. And then picking up 5 of the 11 size demi rounds in that gorgeous kind of chroma color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then going through the next 8O demi round in our little rings. And then picking up 4. Now I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings, and that worked out to where I'm going to finish my edge of the bracelet on the same color I started with. So that's nice. Keep that in mind if you want your bracelet to end with the same demi round type as you started with. All right, so we've got those on. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to, so we've added that. So this is where you kind of add your clasp loops. Now you can add your clasp directly to these seed bead loops that you'll be making, or you can go in and add it with jump rings later. That's what I did here. I just added the seed beads and chose my clasp later. So that's what I'm gonna do here, because I might just attach an ear wire to this because I think I'll turn it into some earrings. So what you do here is you add 4 of these 11O round, size 11, whatever you wanna call them, demi rounds. I put 5 on there because I got used to the 5, so just 4. Or no, actually you do want 5. 5 of these, and then you're gonna go through that fire polished bead on your end there, just like that. Oh no, wait, hang on. I need more than that. That's too small of a loop. You're actually gonna add 9 here. I got tripped up. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you could probably add 10 too, depending. Like if you want a bigger loop, if you know you're going to be adding a more substantial clasp or jump ring and you want to make a bigger loop on that end, that's totally fine. It's whatever you like, whatever you need to add your clasp, or you can add your clasp directly on with those seed beads too. So we've got our seed beads added for our first clasp loop. We're going to do that again for our second clasp loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to go through this A-dot bead here to get us in place to add those little demi-round accents to this edge of the bracelet. So we're going to do what we did on the other side. We're going to add 4 of these TOHO demi-round. And we're coming out of that first A-dot bead in our ring. We're going to go through the next one in the ring. There we go. Oh my gosh, that pop of gold is just wonderful. And then we're going to add 5 of those 11-aught beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through that next 8O demi round. And then 4 of these gold ones. Five of the 11O. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go through that next 8O demi round in your ring and add your last 4 gold ones. This would be a really pretty New Year's Eve bracelet too. It's very elegant and I don't know, it's stunning. And you could do it in a lot of different colors, like all gold, like different shades of gold or all the same shade of gold would be really, really pretty. And then you can add more loops like you did here. I might actually not add a loop on this end. If you're making a bracelet, you definitely want to add the loops as you did on this end to this end so you can attach your clasp. But what I'm thinking is maybe I just do one big loop. Like here I could maybe attach like some little dangles. I think I'll do that. I'll just make one big loop for this end. So now what we're doing is we're going around and adding in that little point to our gold arches on the sides of our bracelet. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And because we're making a like one just overarching loop, maybe we need a little more. Yeah, I would say like maybe 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see how that looks. Kind of riffing off the original project here, but that's the fun about beading. You can totally make it your own. All right, so I've got my bigger loop here because I'm going to attach an ear wire to the top of this, and then you just come through that A-dot bead. All right, so now we're going to go through and add our little point at the top of our golden arch here. So I'm going to go through these first 2 gold demi rounds, and I'm going to add another gold demi round between. And you could get creative here. Maybe you could add that green color as your point color there. That might be a fun little variation. I'm just going to do the same color there. And then you see how that like, it just kind of pops up really nicely and makes that lovely little lacy point. That's another, it's just another great use of the demi rounds because they're so thin and you can really work them in different ways. They're just a lot of fun to work with. And then from here, you're just going to pass through that little arch of 5, 11, 0 demi rounds. We're not really changing those, so we're just going to pass our thread through, and that gives you a little more reinforcement too, which is nice. And then we're going to go through the next 2 gold demi rounds and add our another little point. So I've picked up my gold and gone through the next 2 gold demi rounds, making our little point. So cute. And then we just keep going and do that on both sides. So we're going to loop around, and that'll give you a nice opportunity to reinforce the loops of your clasp as well. I love going back through the loops of my clasp to make them stronger and give them a better shape. So we'll definitely do that when we make our way around. Here we go. 2. So we've gone through the first 2 gold of this little arch. We're going to add our point, our gold point demi round, and go through the next 2. And it just makes this lovely shape. So you can see the difference. And for a bracelet, this might be kind of fun too. If you know that you like want a top and bottom to your bracelet, you could just do the points on one side. So that's the side sticking up. But we're going to do it on both sides. I think that gives it like a more lacy look if you do it on both sides. We're going to go through these clasp loops to reinforce them. And you'll see the shape get kind of better too when you go through and reinforce. Oh, these colors are just so pretty. I love them. And remember, if you hit that shopping bag, you can add all the beads I'm working with today to your shopping cart, and you can make this bracelet for yourself. This video will be here. Once you get your beads, you can come back, rewatch, download the PDF, print it out to help you. See how much nicer that shape is? Like, look at it compared to the one we haven't gone through. Reinforcing your loops really helps make the shape smoother and nicer. So if you make a loop and you're not happy with the shape, go back and reinforce it. It really does help. There we go. And then we're going to reinforce this loop here. Make sure you're not skipping any beads. All right, and we are in place to add our points on this side. And look at those lovely reinforced loops on that end. So cute. It almost looks like a little fishy. So cute with a little tail. Those loops can be in the fish tail. All right. So then we're going to do this. The Demi round fish earrings, right? Go through those next 2 Demi rounds and that 8/0 Demi round in the loop. And there, you've got your point on that side too. Doesn't that just, oh, that point really adds just that extra pop to the bracelet, kind of brings it all together, just elevates it. Just one little bead elevates the whole project. So brilliant. All right, just pass through that next segment of 11/0 beads. We're gonna go through the first 2 Demi rounds of our next arch. Pick up a gold Demi round and go through the next 2 golds. And pop, it's beautiful. Really, really pretty. I'm loving that. And then we'll go through the next 8/0 bead. Go through the next segment of 11/0 and then the next 8/0 bead. Go through the next 2 gold Demi rounds. Add 1 gold and then go through the next 2 gold. And then we can reinforce our big loop here too. And that'll give it a better shape. Look at that, so pretty. So we could definitely turn that into a really pretty earring. Really fun. So I'm going to just go through all of these loop beads again to give it that nicer, stronger shape, smoother shape. And there we go. Oh, it's so pretty. So you just have that beautiful lacy look. I love it with the darker purple beads. So again, I just did a shorter segment, but you just do those techniques longer and more to make a bracelet. So you can see how that fire polished bead just subtly changes the look of the piece. I don't know which one I like more, the dark purple or the lighter mauve color. They're both really fabulous. So this one, I'm going to tie off my threads. I'm probably going to add an ear wire up here. Maybe I'll do some dangles down here because I can never resist a dangle moment. And I do have those loops there. So maybe that's something I can do. But this piece, once you've got that, if you're making this bracelet length, just add your clasp with some jump rings and you're good to go. You've got this lovely bracelet made with the TOHO Demi round seed beads. And it's a great use of those beads because they just fit so well. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Regal and beautiful. Love that. And it goes by pretty fast for the amount of seed beads you're adding. We are just under 45 minutes here. And so we got quite a bit done on our earring. So a bracelet will take you a little bit longer, but the nice thing is you do repeat a lot of steps and you can kind of get in the groove and go faster once you get it down. So really fun project from Starman Trendsetters. Again, this bracelet was designed by the wonderful Melinda Barta, and you can find this project at artbeads.com. If you're watching at artbeads.com/live, hit that shopping bag. You'll see all the supplies I used to make this bracelet today, and you can buy them while you watch. So wonderful. I love Demi rounds too, Tammy. They're just really fun to work with. So bead weaving, they're great. They make excellent details in bead embroidery, even stringing. They make great spacers. You know, if you want a colorful spacer, there's a lot of colors in TOHO Demi rounds to choose from. So they make great spacers in simple stringing projects as well. There's just all kinds of things you can do with these fabulous little beads. So they're wonderful to have on hand for any kind of project, and they are available by the tube, so you'll have lots to work with. And I just can't get enough, and so hopefully you love them too. All right, I think that's about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed that project. I enjoyed demoing it for you. I'm gonna have to make another one of these and turn this into some matching earrings, because that actually turned out so cute. Or a little pendant, like, oh, that would be a lovely little necklace pendant with some, we could actually do, here's what I'm thinking for a necklace. We could actually do chain coming off each of these loops and then have just like one drop or dangle coming from this bigger loop. Or you could just leave it how it is. But this would be an excellent necklace pendant. Now I'm thinking that's what I have to do. That's a great idea. So I might go that route now. Really fun. So you can have fun. I just did this for demo purposes, but if you want to do just a quicker version of this lovely project, you could just make a pendant like that and then add some chain, add an ear wire. Possibilities are endless when you've got some wonderful bead weaving techniques up your sleeve. So really fun. Yay. Okay, I'm going to bring you back up to my face and we will say goodbye here. Oops, my light is falling. Okay. Yay. It's always funny when the camera's coming up. I feel like it's like a big reveal. But yes, this is the bracelet that we made today. If you want to go back and watch again to make along, you can. This video will be available to you after the fact to watch anytime. And definitely keep your eye on our artbeads.com/live page. We have so many wonderful designers. Tammy just demoed an amazing project yesterday. Julie did one on Tuesday, and Sarah's got one coming tomorrow on, well, no, I don't think Sarah's going live tomorrow. No, she took this week off. So you'll have to wait for Sarah. She'll be back next week. But if you just need your fix, head over to artbeads.com/live. All the videos live on there. You can rewatch or catch some of the ones you haven't watched yet. They're all there for you. Happy New Year, Julie. Tammy, Happy New Year to you as well. Vicky, wishing happiness and health for everyone. Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you have some wonderful plans and maybe some wonderful jewelry to wear on New Year's Eve. I know I do. So thank you guys again so much for joining me. We will be back next week with more live videos for the new year. So exciting. Karen, thank you for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching and commenting. Really love to hear your feedback, to see what you guys are saying. So great, and love seeing all the little hearts you guys send too. All right, make sure to close out your carts if you've been shopping along and get those pretty Demi rounds and fire polished beads that we used in today's show. And definitely check out those designer blends that I used in these earrings if you haven't yet. There's some really great ones. Get them while you can, because they are limited edition. Okay, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.